We interrupt this touching moment to bring you the rest of the game.
A lot
Say
was
goodbye to the
good.
grass.
Do you or anybody in your family suffer from erectile dysfunction? No?
Yeah,
Okay,
the
no? Okay,
music
nobody-
sounds like an
wasting my time.
AARP commercial.
I don't have a penis, Joel. Why do you keep asking me that?
We don't have to do this.
You know, the wording of that commercial question always amuses me, because if someone in your family suffered from that, how would you know in the first place?
After all we've done. Everything that I've done.
Well, I think they're trying to get over the embarrassment of, do you have erectile dysfunction? No, they're trying to push it onto someone else. That's what I think they're trying to do anyway, but...
I always wondered
you
why
know.
they showed advertisements for that when I was watching Nickelodeon, though.
Yeah, because the parents are watching the cartoons with their kids. Supervision.
You know, it's like they ask that question about pretty much any medicine thing. It's just particularly amusing when it comes to that one.
You know, I wasn't expecting us to carry on with that damn conversation. I was just saying that as a joke.
The only other one that really amuses me is whenever they talk about litigation from certain things. Like, if you or a loved one died, it's like, well, if I'm dead, I can't really collect my litigation, now, can I?
Yeah, I know what you mean. No, I'm more of a fan of those experimental drugs where the side effects are worse than actually having the thing you're trying to cure.
The side effects are everything except the thing we're trying to cure.
Yeah.
You want to know what always confuses me? Advertisements for antidepressants, which increase your thoughts for suicide.
Wait,
Oh,
that's a
man.
thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
haven't
that's
you
the
ever seen like a Prozac or a whatever commercial? It's just like, if you have thoughts, side effects may include increased thoughts of suicide, and I'm like, well, shit, guys.
Sort of counterintuitive there, guys. I want to live.
Or maybe I don't, that's why I'm taking it.
God.
Here we are.
It was right after everything went down. I ended up in a triage just like this.
Excellent.
So are we at the Firefly camp?
Well, the remains of a
triage.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Quarantine
is
area.
actually, yeah, this is where they were keeping people while they were setting up the quarantine zone and making sure everyone was clean of the fungus and everything.
Losing everything that you know. I'm sorry.
So this is another section of non-gameplay, to be honest. There's a lot of stuff to find in the tents, and that's about it. Optional dialogues here and there.
Well, to be fair, you just did go through an entire section with very little collectible stuff, so you might be running pretty low on materials.
Oh
and
no,
whatever.
no! Actually, most of that was Ellie's section, and you got to keep most of what Joel had.
Well, you
Unless
did
were
spend
just-
much more time as Ellie than Joel. To be honest.
Yeah, so the fact that you went through a section without many collectibles doesn't really matter, because your inventory is basically untouched in the winter.
Hooray, we now have Super Joel.
Infinite Devil Trigger? Excellent.
No, not quite. Trophy.
Everything we've been through.
So have you
don't
gotten all
need-
the trophies in this yet?
No.
Why, is there some obnoxious one?
The
Well,
last
I haven't beaten Survivor on just straight up normal game, not New Game Plus.
Here's the thing about Naughty Dog is one of those companies that when it comes to trophies for games like Uncharted and The Last of Us, most of the trophies are optional things that actually do take some time to accomplish. Like, you're not going to unlock 5 or 6 trophies the first time you play the game just because you spent half an hour getting through the first sections of the game. Because a lot of games tend to do that, I've noticed, that they give you a lot of gimme trophies just to make it seem like you're making progress.
Do you want to know?
only-
You know what I think is making progress? Getting through the game. You don't need a trophy to say you beat the level if
yeah.
you just beat the level.
Yeah, it's just like, it's the normal thing in trophy lists where they have trophies for progressing to certain areas of the plot that are basically, you can't miss them as you play through the game. And for some reason, so many games just have like 5 or 6 trophies that you can unlock within the first 3 hours.
Well, at this point, it becomes, well, who's in charge of is it by contract that a game has to have trophies? If you're
Yeah.
all right, so
Yeah.
let's say that depends on the developers. Then I mean, yeah, we don't really want to put trophies here, but for the sake of making sure everything is good to go for release, we're just gonna make these trophies a gimme because we honestly don't give a fuck about that sort of thing.
Well, sometimes it's like that, yeah. And those are particularly obvious in games like Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands, where you can pretty much platinum the game in a day and a half if you're diligent about it. Oh, look at that picture from before. Ellie stole it. How nice.
Well, I mean, I understand giving somebody a trophy for just, beating the game. That's, one thing. But giving them a trophy for, like, beating every individual level is a bit much, honestly.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, the
It's,
only kind of gimmies this game gives you is trophies for beating the games on various difficulties.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lewis.
I just like the most obnoxious thing, though, is when games have trophies for different difficulties and don't give you the easy ones when you beat the hard ones first.
I was just about to ask that, actually.
Yeah, this game, unfortunately, I don't think. Wait, no, I think it does do that.
Batman Arkham Asylum does that. If you
Yeah.
beat it on hard first, it gives you the normal and easy trophies too.
Yeah, but does this game have a Smokey the Bear achievement?
I don't think it has butt
What do you
mode
mean?
either.
No. Every game is
Yeah.
better with
Alright,
butt mode.
when she says that, that is my cue to be on the lookout for zombies.
Yeah.
Because
Or be incredibly skeptical.
gameplay is going to start.
Well, this is the
Oh.
last section with the infected, though.
Yep.
Yeah. This tunnel, just this tunnel. We just need to get to the end of this tunnel. You see,
This
'cause
tunnel, this tunnel, this
No,
tunnel.
no. You see what they did there, though? The last area with zombies is a tunnel, and we're looking for the fireflies, looking for the light, if you will, which is actually the catchphrase that they use.
Symbolism!
Oh my god, this game is too deep for me.
We need a movie. Now! Someone get Sam Raimi on the phone.
Make sure that there's dance sequences.
You there,
All
Mr.
of
Raimi.
the dance
I
sequences.
deeply enjoyed that dance scene in Spider-Man 3. Would you be willing to produce The Last of Us?
Would
Well, I did. Would I? This area is pretty dangerous, so it's like nothing but clickers.
Oh, I disagree. The Molotovs and Flamethrower makes this place a total cakewalk.
Well, no, I mean that worked, but as far as infected sequences go,
Yeah, because you have a lot of clickers here. They're blind. And bloaters. The bloaters are the biggest threat.
yeah.
But I think this area is pretty safe. What about that
Oh,
ball
it's
screen, though?
Uh-huh.
Did I-
Can you just
for the
walk
record-
past everything if they're all blind?
For
Yeah.
the
Well, no, they
record-
can hear you.
For the record, some people might be wondering, like I wondered for like the first 3 hours of my game, what that less than 1 minute ago thing that you can see on like every pause screen ever is.
That-
Is
that's
time
on the
since
last
the
autosave.
autosave, yes. It doesn't actually tell you that though. It just says less than 1 minute ago. Well, what happened less than 1 minute ago?
So the game is basically always auto-saving then.
Yeah, it autosaves a hell of a lot. But seriously, what happened less than 1 minute ago? Why doesn't it tell you? For all I know, it could have been like mankind landed on the moon less than 1 minute ago. I'm
No,
pretty sure
mankind
that was
never
decades
landed on
ago,
the moon. NASA made it up. Even though NASA didn't have the video technology to make it up back in 1960, whatever.
9.
Nah, they just filmed the whole thing on that quarry from classic Doctor Who.
What if they filmed it on the moon? They set up a movie studio on the moon so they could fake film themselves on the moon.
Wait a minute.
And that's
By the
why
way-
I love/hate conspiracy theories.
Wait a second, NASA, when are we getting to Mars anyway?
I think
None.
it's like 2020 something.
I hope it's some point in our lifetime.
Well, no, I love space as much as the next guy, but I never got why people were so obsessed with Mars. Because there's nothing on Mars.
Well, it's the closest planet to us that could potentially support
Think of
life.
all the Total Recall references.
And again, it's the closest planet that could possibly support life.
Yeah, like 100 million years from now, maybe.
Signs of life actually being there, by which they mean microscopic life.
Well, still means it could support life.
Like I think there are theories that Mars could eventually like develop into a habitable ecosystem, but just not right now.
Well, technology.
In a more relevant news, bloater.
Boomer.
You
Come on, everyone get in the circle. That's what I like to see.
Frickin' idiots.
Oh no, the zombie's on fire, and it just runs into the fire.
You idiots. It's like you've got
Oh God, I'm in
fungus
hell.
eating out. It's like they've all got fungus eating out their brains or something. Jesus God. How
One more.
stupid can you be?
I just imagine Joel whistling a jaunty tune this entire time.
No, that would give him away to the clickers and bloaters.
Oh look, I have 3 more now.
Oh, and there's conveniently an awful lot more alcohol and rags over here.
Ellie,
Who the thunk?
get the potato.
Not to mention, I have a flamethrower.
Ellie, get the potato
Oh,
gun.
so we thought this tunnel was full of wrecked cars because of the apocalypse, but no, it's just 2 days before the apocalypse. Everyone in town was just on a bender. How much more infected do we need to wade through
I
here?
think that was the
Think you can
last
shove
of
that
it.
crate down?
The last of them. But the funny thing about this is though, the last season of the game you don't actually deal with that many infected. There's one section of them, and then everything else is humans.
Well, I don't think we
And-
fought any infected during the winter section. It was
Yeah,
all that
actually we
cannibal.
did. There was that
Yeah,
that whole
with
section
David.
Ellie
Oh yeah,
before the-
you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, and that was
recorded
a,
that
and-
part like a week ago, so I can't remember that far back.
Yeah, and to be fair, that was a pretty substantial section of infected.
Okay.
But-
yeah. Sorry,
but-
my
but-
bad.
But it's also the last really substantial section of infected in the game. Not counting Left Behind's Run Like Hell section.
Well, the last action infected part of the game, because this can be a stealth section if you just bypass them all.
That water looks
Yeah.
pretty deep.
Although with all the bloaters there, it's probably a better idea to actually find a way to kill them.
Well, bloaters are blind too, aren't they?
They are, but ultimately, there's nothing you can do once they get their hands on you. So
Yeah.
if you're stuck waiting for Ellie to push the crate down, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like in the long run of the game, there is a surprisingly
I'm on the other
small
side.
amount of infected. It's
Alright,
like they,
hold
they,
on.
they exist in the game and they're the main part of the premise, but they're not actually that important gameplay wise. Hello, ladder. The ladder will never betray me. Ladder and
I
pallet
think we have to-
are constant companions.
I have to talk to you about your unhealthy obsession with ladder.
Well,
Well, what happened if we find
last
the
night I
advan-
caught you trying to put a dress on it.
ladder
What
and
happened?
pallet have always been there for me, man. They will never abandon me.
What about the inanimate carbon rod?
Freezing!
Cool.
How did she get down here?
I forget.
It seems shaking it slightly lightly hasn't done anything. Maybe I should try like breaking the lock or something.
The lock's on the other side.
Side.
Shut up.
You win this round, Luck.
Get your gun out. I mean, you're sending your partner to the other side of a locked chain link fence. You're obviously going to have to shoot something through it.
We're all here!
Well, Ellie can't. Can Ellie die there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you let them attack too long, yeah.
Man, I can't wait for those things to be wiped out.
Well, we're almost to the Fireflies. Obviously, this means that the game will end with mankind being saved and everything, right?
Hooray!
Dude, you just spoiled it like 15 minutes ago that they're gonna try to rip open Ellie's brain. So.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't actually affect whether or not the game ends with a good ending or a bad ending for humankind. I mean,
Poor
sure.
Shorty.
We know they're
Don't care. I have a better shotgun.
Do you have
We know
to? Are you gonna upgrade it just cause?
Well, if I play the game through again, I'm not gonna have much choice. But yeah, it's probably gonna be the last thing I upgrade.